I live in a storage unit because it's cheap in comparison to an apartment. Living here is actually really comfortable. I get a lot of things that I need and want to get done here. I can exercise.
Listen, dreamers, today we're going to be talking about basically people having to live in homeless shelters or in storage units, which is actually crazy and comparable to when President Hoover was in place, when they was living in hoovervilles. Hoovervilles was when like they was creating makeshift shelters, camping outside of the White House and across America because they could not afford rent. They couldn't find a job. They couldn't find pay or anything like that. So a lot of people who went homeless and living in homeless shelters or created these hoovervilles, was pretty much cardboard boxes, sheet metal, tin roofs, and just placing them up in parks, side of the road, things like that. Hoovervilles. And that's what this economy is coming to where people are having to live inside homeless shelters or having to live inside storage units, what I would consider the modern day Hooverville, which is absolutely insane. I've been telling you guys about the economy for a while now. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs up button, because literally that helps out this channel more than you guys can possibly even imagine. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell. But guys, listen, working minimum wage, right? If you work minimum wage, 40 hours a week, you are supposed to be able to be right at the poverty line or a little bit above the poverty line to where you can afford to live at poverty at minimum wage. But in today's age, minimum wage, you can't even afford poverty. In fact, if you work minimum wage for 40 hours a week, you're below the poverty line. You're below broke. You're brokety broke. So guys, today in this video, we're going to take a look at a couple of people that's struggling to survive. Living in homeless shelters is not safe under any conditions. Living in storage units, because it's literally cheaper to live in a storage unit than to, I mean, of course it's cheaper to live in a storage unit than it is apartments, but these apartment prices are getting out of hand to where people are would rather live in a storage unit than to pay these crazy apartment prices. So let's go ahead and dive into this video.
Well, we're in the shelter.
Damn, man. Damn.
And I'm feeling extremely frustrated. This jail.
Imagine living in a house, living in an apartment. Then under certain circumstances, there have been mass layoffs within the government, jobs, the education department, and it's not your fault. Because guys, listen, there's a study that shows that less than 10% of Americans have more than $1,000 in their savings account. So imagine working at a job, you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of kids, you're taking care of your family. You have less than $1,000 in your bank account, and for no reason at all, you are doing an amazing job at your job, but they're laying off 10,000 workers because of, there's a new administration, and you get laid off. And you was dependent on that check. And now that you've been dependent on that check for quite some time now, your less than $1,000 in your savings account is gone after 1 month, maybe after a week, maybe after 2 weeks, right? So now the only thing that you can do is you got to move out of your house. You got to sell your house first. If you stay in an apartment, you're going to get evicted from your apartment after a couple of months. First month, you might get by. Second month, they're going to say, hey, you got to go. They're going to kick you out. They're going to evict you out your apartment. And the only place for you to go is to a shelter, a homeless house. It's just crazy that this can happen to anybody at any time if you're not prepared. That's why I really stress to you guys that you need to start investing your money. You need to have money inside your savings account, especially during this economy right here. If you have extra money, don't go spend it on bowling, going out, extra food. Right now is the time that you got to save for the next 6 months. I know it means a lot to go out and have fun with your friends and actually have a social life. But these next 6 months, you guys need to just bunker down, save up your money for anything that can happen, because literally anything can happen right now. And you guys need to be prepared for the next 6 months. You need to be saving money, investing your money, and have a large savings account, and have all your have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed, have your car fixed, have your new tires, have everything in line, because anything can happen over the next 6 months. I promise you guys, if you set yourself up over the next 6 months, then you can start to go back out to dinner. Then you can start to hang back out with your friends. Then you can start to plan your vacations. But right now in this economy, guys, you need to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed and have money in your savings account, because you do not want to end up in a homeless shelter. You do not want to end up living in a storage unit just because you got laid off from your job. You want to have at least 3 months of savings saved up to where you can survive for the next 3 months without having to work a job in your savings account so that you can survive. So if that means that you're living outside of your means, if you're paying too much for your car note, if you're paying too much for your house mortgage and things like that, then it might be time for you to start to cut back. Maybe you need to sell your car, get a different car, sell your house, get a different house, move to a different apartment building. But it's time for you to start saving a little bit more money. If you're spending 90% of your weekly checks, bi-weekly checks, monthly checks, if you're spending 90% of that just to survive before you could even save or invest the other 10, then it's time that you're living outside of your wage, right? You're living way outside of your wage, and you need to think about that before this ends up like you in these situations. So you guys really need to pay attention to your spending habits and check that out. Now, what you could do is start to invest. That's what I've been doing. I have multi 6-figure accounts, and if you guys want to start investing, I will leave a link to Moo down in the description. You can sign up with them. Deposit $100, get up to 30 free stocks. That's how I started with free stock. In fact, I started off with 5 stocks. You guys can start off with up to 30 free stocks. Start investing with those free stocks inside your platform. You can literally keep it inside the platform and use it, or you can sell those free stocks and withdraw all of your money. It's free money, guys. Do not miss out on that opportunity. I've grown my account to multi 6 figures. You guys can go watch my Dream Green Show account if you want to, but I'm going to leave that link here for you guys. But let's go ahead and dive back into this video.
2011, I was 17 and I was homeless. And I'm not talking about I ran away homeless. I mean, I was living in the city of Detroit while my father was living in Atlanta, Georgia. My father had physical custody of us because my mother got her rights taken away when I was 8. With that being said, 17, a senior in high school. Now ask me, how many agencies helped me out during that time? People are judging Tatiana Williams, saying, oh, there were churches, there were shelters. Those churches will help their members. And even then, they will only help the members that they know, that they're like, you know, those members have been in the church their whole life type shit. They don't help new members. They help those who they want to help. Those shelters have so many damn rules and regulations on how you can even get a slot. And on top of that, did y'all know a lot of those shelters is just open bays? That means in the middle of you being asleep, someone could literally snatch your child and I know it sounds crazy as hell. Like, y'all don't think that is a very real reality for a lot of these people. Y'all have not seen them damn homeless shelters. I went to one and I had 2 homeless, nasty ass men try to grab on me. At the time, I'm 130 pounds soaking wet. You don't think one of them could have yoked my ass up and dragged me to some kind of closet, probably murdered my ass?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut a little bit of that video because I don't want to get monetized from YouTube. But basically what she was saying is that homeless shelters are not safe. She was a young child. Well, not even young. She was 17 years old. She was a teenager in these homeless shelters, and she was only 130 pounds young. And then she was also inside these homeless shelters with older men. Open space, open bags. They could go through your bags. They could go through they could come take you if they wanted to. And basically what she was saying is not safe. I mean, if you was wondering, why would someone stay in a storage unit, or why would someone stay on the street, sleep under a bridge compared to a homeless shelter with a roof over their head? It's dangerous. It's dangerous out there for women. It's dangerous out there for men, but especially if you're a woman. If you're a woman, it's super dangerous, and you would rather not have to deal with that kind of reality and that struggle just to have a roof over your head and some AC and some heat when your life is on the line. So if you're wondering, why would you stay in a storage unit? Why would you rather sleep on the streets? Homeless shelters are dangerous. At least from her experience from when she was in Detroit, it's not a good look. Maybe things has changed. Maybe it's different in different cities where some shelters actually got rooms and doors and open things like that. I know at my school, we help build beds every summer for the homeless shelters, and we supply those to them. But in some of these, we have to build them every summer because these beds get destroyed and they get nasty. But, over time, if you're a woman, if you're a man, it's dangerous, especially for women, to be inside these homeless shelters. And that's why you see so many of them on the streets or taking care of their business in some other form or fashion. But it's crazy out there in them streets. It's crazy in these homeless shelters. And that's why I'm telling you guys, you gotta get your stuff in order, because you do not want to have a family of yourself, 2 kids, and you gotta sleep in a homeless shelter with no doors and anybody walking around you, right? It's gonna be people that's been inside that system, the homeless system, for years, that's trying to take advantage of new people that's just, have themselves falling from underneath their feet. And they're gonna spot you out and they're gonna take advantage of you. So you need to take care of your financials before they take care of you. All right, I gotta mute this, but the fact that I couldn't afford to pay my rent, so now I owe $4,000 in 30 days, and I'm currently staying on someone's couch without any support from anyone but myself, all at the age of 20. I don't deserve this. Why me? God knows I've had the worst year of my life. I couldn't play the music, but yes, the only good thing from that is that hopefully she learned from that situation, and that will be the worst year of her life. If that's the worst year of her life, it will only get better from there. She's 20 years old. She still have a lot of room to grow. I've seen people go from 20 to 23 and become millionaires, from 20 to 27 and become millionaires, from 20 to 30 and become millionaires. Over the next couple of years of her life, she could say, this would never be me in this situation again. And unfortunately, that had to happen to a lot of people, to where they say, this will never be me in this situation again. And they literally grind to where they're never in that situation again, whether if they just living above minimum wage, if they're living at a good middle class wage, or if they become just filthy rich over time because of the struggles they had to go through. I've been there. I've been at the lowest point, to where I had zero income, zero money, living off food stamps, had to go find just any job. And this was with me with a college degree, right? Just had to find any job possible with someone that has no work experience, because I decided to play football my whole life. But with no work experience at all, you're in college, you're young, you're under 21, you still have a lot of room to grow, and you can still make a lot of money. And when I was broke, living out of my refrigerator, like my refrigerator was broke, I had to buy ice chests and just refill it with ice every single day. I found a way to get some free ice. I just kept my food in there, just refilling it with ice. I didn't have no ice. I ate rice every single day. The rice with salt and pepper, rice with lemon pepper, rice with oregano, rice with rosemary and oregano. Like, I found some way, lemon thyme. Hey, listen, I found some way to eat some rice, right? With this, the way that I can explain how I eat rice lets you know that I'm not lying. I was really eating rice every single day, just straight up rice. And I told myself I would never be in this situation again. And that's when I really start to sit down and fine tune and dig inside financial literacy, financial education, and how to make money from the stock market. And hey, listen, I'm living nice now, all because I was in the worst situation I could possibly be in. And I'm finally starting to make a lot of money from the stock market and from my job. And and it took me being in that situation to say I would never be in that situation again. And fortunately, I was one of the ones that I promise you on everything I love, I would never be in that situation again. I know too much about money. From educating myself to ever be in that type of situation again. Would I ever be broke again? Let's say I do some investments that I thought was very, 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 very smart, right? And then it really was smart, and the odds of me failing was very, very low, but odds are odds, and it did me. And I ended up failing and I had to go bankrupt. Yes, I would be broke again, but I won't be poor. I could promise you I won't be poor, because if you make your $1 million the first time, I promise you can make $1 million the second time. It is because you're smart enough not to be in that situation again. I promise you I could do it again.
I live in a storage unit because it's cheap in comparison to an apartment. Living here is actually really comfortable. I get a lot of things that I need and want to get done here. I can exercise. I can use the bathroom. I can play music anywhere in the unit. It's climate controlled in here, so it's nice and warm. This unit is 24 hours, so I can come here anytime I want, stay here as long as I need to. We can take naps if we need to and go to sleep. So this is our living space. Very, very grateful to have this space. The next goal was to get an RV. The next goal after that, tiny home. And if we want to eat, I just cook right out front. Or we'll just prepare something cold inside of the unit. Sandwiches. A lot of times we make salad. If we want to get power, we use our power bank. They also have power here so we can charge our power bank. Me and my baby will live here as long as we need to until we get the shelter that we want. Because we're living here, now we can save up more money to get what we really want. We're in it for the long haul.
So, hey, at least he got a plan. But that's what the economy has come to where, I mean, of course, it's going to be cheaper to live in a storage unit than it is apartment. But that's because apartment prices are so high. They're so high that people, like, usually you can go get an apartment, even a bad apartment. You say, I'm going to go get a very cheap apartment. I'm going to pay less than $1,000 per month for this very, very cheap apartment. That don't exist anymore. Not, at least not where I stay. You can't get the cheapest apartment you can find. It's going to be around $1,200, $1,300. Cheapest. Now, my man, he found a way to pay $200 a month for a storage unit, maybe a little cheaper than that. It's for a storage unit that him and his little girl live in, right? And they got a power bank that they could charge at night and they could do anything that they want. But the main thing that I heard he say was that he got a plan. We're saving up. This is not long term. We're saving up. We're going to buy an RV. If she working, he working, they'll be able to buy a decently affordable RV in the next couple of months, right? They'll be able to afford an RV, live in an RV, be on the road, go place to place, live where they want to live, and not have to worry about getting kicked out. Because if you get caught in a storage unit, they're going to kick you out. They might kick you out, lock up your unit, and then sell your unit, and then you lose all your stuff. So you don't want to get caught in a storage unit. But if you get caught, they're going to kick you out. But he do got a plan to get an RV and then a tiny home, which is, unfortunately, tiny homes are running around 150,000, right? Tiny homes is around 150,000, 170,000. For a tiny home, you can put down 20, 30% on that. So he'll be coming around $15,000, $16,000 for a tiny home. So while he's living inside the RV unit, he'll have to be started. He can sell the RV unit. Let's say he buy an RV unit for around like $9,000 to $10,000. Save up for a couple more months, he end up with $7,000 more. So he'll sell the RV unit, get that $10K from that. Have the $7,000 saved up. That's $17,000. Then he can put down that down payment for the tiny home, but he won't have no more money. So it's gonna take him a little while to buy the tiny home if he wanted to, like he said. And then once you get used to really not spending that much money on mortgage and rent, it's hard to go to spending money on mortgage and rent. So I really think once he get a RV and live out that RV, he's going to want to buy and save up for a better RV, more expensive RV, and live out of that than he would to buy a tiny home. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section.
Almost twice the federal minimum wage, and I am still thousands of dollars below the poverty line. I am homeless. I live in my car. I cannot afford to rent an apartment. I can hardly afford to live in my car. Food is expensive, and it's tough times, you know. I work 40 hours a week. I am not in an entry-level position. I am in a skilled position. I make twice the federal minimum wage, and I am poor. And if that isn't the most late-stage capitalism thing.
He make twice minimum wage. Remember I said earlier about if you make minimum wage and work 40 hours, that is a full work week, you're supposed to be able to live at the poverty line. He said he's make twice the minimum wage, and he still is poor. Not even middle. I mean, it's crazy. He's not working a cashier job at Walmart. He's not working a cashier job at McDonald's, flipping burgers, changing fries out, anything like that. Not your first time job, high school job. He said he is a skilled worker. So even if you have a certain skill and you're working, you can still end up being poor, even though you have a skill that you have dialed in and been very, very good at. You're still going to be poor. And that's for a lot of Americans out there that's very good at their job to develop a skill that took them years to develop, that they're still out here being poor and broke, which is sad that you've become very good at something that you're not getting paid for. So what I suggest that he do is that he needs to go to his boss and say, hey, I need to find some vertical movement within this job, or he needs to start to apply for other jobs to where he could be able to afford to live above the poverty line so that he don't be poor. Now he could apply to other jobs. Just apply to other jobs. See what they say. Say, hey, this is the skill that I'm using at this job. These are my numbers. I'm helping grow in this company to this part. What are you guys paying over there? Oh, okay. That's the same thing I'm making over here. Do you guys got another position that's a little bit higher in payment, finance wise? And they'll say, hey, yes, we got this. And then you can go back to your boss if you don't want to leave and say, hey, I got this job offer. Either you guys are going to promote me to over here, or I'm going to go over and work over there. But this is the quickest way for him to change his financial situation is to find another job and get paid more. He had to make more money, to save more money, to invest more money, to make more money. It's a complete circle. It's a complete circle of life, circle of money, to where you need to make more money so you can invest more money so that you can make more money. And if you do that, he will be in a better financial situation, and he won't have to be shooting videos out of his car talking about how poor he is. But yeah, guys, we're at the end of this video. Let me know down in the comment section, have you ever had to live in a homeless shelter? Do you know anybody that live in a homeless shelter? Have you ever thought about saying, hey man, if they raise my rent price one more time, I'm gonna go ahead and live inside that storage unit that I'm already been paying for, and then you just gonna move a bed in the back and just sleep inside there? Or just let me know down in the comment section, are you tired of your mortgage price? Are you tired of the house prices? Are you tired of these rent prices in your apartments? Let me know about that down in the comment section. If you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, because that helps out this channel. Listen, if you made it to the end of this video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, because that helps out this channel more than you guys can possibly even imagine. But other than that, guys, I'm Zeke, bringing you the Dream Green Conversations, and I'm out. Peace.